Big thank you to this episode's sponsors, OpenPhone, the #1 business phone system that streamlines and scales your customer communications. Get 20% off of your first 6 months at openphone.com/earn. Shopify, the e-commerce platform that I trust for Glossy. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/happy. Constant Contact. Constant Contact's award-winning marketing platform is here to make marketing way easier and way more effective. Get a free 30-day trial when you go to constantcontact.com. If I'm not doing something every day that makes me grab my chest and gasp and say to myself, the audacity to send that email, the audacity to think that your product is amazing and say that it's the best product and that this woman should be drinking it, and to think that you could get your product in Sephora or Ulta or write that book or be a New York Times bestseller, the audacity, then I'm not playing big enough. And I know that you aren't either. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Earn Your Happy podcast. It's time for another quickie because there's always time to fit in inspiration. If you have not tried Glossy yet, the beauty hydration mix, that is for your skin and gut. If you want glowing skin and you want to feel de-bloated and great every day, I'm telling you, I created this to solve my own problems, to help clear up my own skin and feel lighter every single day, and especially when I travel. This is for you guys. So go to getglossy.com and use code HAPPY for 25% off. That code is going to go away soon because it was an introductory code for all of my favorite podcast listeners, and that is you guys. And today, when I say I'm about to share something really big with you, I mean, brace yourself, because this is about to change so much about what I talk about, and I know about how you show up in the world. And yes, you might be thinking, how is this little 15-minute podcast going to change my life? Well, once in a while in life, I get these insane messages. I get these downloads, and I know that you get them too, where maybe you hear something and it hits your soul in such a way that you're never going to be the same, because from here on out, you can't unsee something, or how you should be, or how you want to be, or how you know you're going to be, or how you're going to show up. So I have been talking about this topic for the last 2 weeks. And the more that I have been sharing this exact story that I am about to share with you, the more people are resonating, like beyond maybe any message that I have ever shared. So I am positive that I am meant to not only do what I'm going to do at the end of this podcast, so get ready, just get ready that we are going to embark on the craziest fucking journey of our lives, and I can't wait. Prepare yourself, but that I am completely different, and you're about to be different too. And there are times in my life where things like this have hit before, and I have gotten 2 tattoos in my whole life. That is it. And each one has a major meaning for me. Now, I do not have this tattoo that I'm about to tell you about in this story, but I am going to get it. So I feel like I have these markers on my body for the things that have deeply impacted my life. And this is going to be the 3rd. And I've gotten them about every 4 to 5. Some of them are 7 years in between. But this is a tattoo-worthy conversation. So am I being dramatic? You get to decide. So the story starts 2 weeks ago, and I was going to speak at an event called Create and Cultivate. And there's 150 speakers at this event. So I was asked to speak, and I was so excited about it. And one of my best friends, Lindsay Zastro of Powerhouse Women, was also asked to speak. So she came and visited me and stayed with me. And she spoke on Saturday, and I spoke on Sunday. So we drove up there both days to Los Angeles, and we're so excited because there's so many women that we want to see and meet and all the things. And I especially had one in mind that I wanted to meet. And the reason that I really wanted to meet her is not necessarily because she had the biggest business or she was a celebrity, because there's tons of that there. She is so bold. She is audacious. She is making big waves in her business. She is getting all the things that she wants, and I'm watching her do it by being this version of herself that is unapologetic, almost to the point of like where someone who maybe doesn't love the boldness is a little judgy. Like she speaks her mind, not in a way that's necessarily rude, but maybe someone who is very quiet or is very, not sure of themselves could be taken that way. For me, I just want a piece of that. Do you know what I'm saying? I want a piece of that courage. I want a piece of that boldness. So I am taking notes on this woman's life. So I've been following her for a while because I especially love some things that she's doing with her business for my business Glossy. And I'm like, okay, I want to follow like everything. I want to see how she's talking. I want to learn from her. And so I know that she's going to be at this event. And I am in the back in the green room. And the green room is a shared green room for all the stages. So at any given moment, there is 20 to 35 women in this green room for all stages at all times. And I am back there on Saturday when Lindsay is speaking. I'm back there with her, kind of just chilling out with her before she goes on stage. And I'm going to be her camera girl in the audience and took a couple pictures for her and stuff like that. And I end up getting to meet this woman that I want to meet. And she's amazing. She's super friendly. And we have a quick conversation. She says something so kind to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so wonderful. And then I literally start watching her pull out a camera, pull out her ring light, pull out her headphones, and she starts filming a ton of content. Like this woman legitimately in the middle of the green room turns it into a full like filming set and moment for herself. She has her assistant or her person who works with her, and she is full on just like doing all the things backstage, recording, like saying stuff to the camera. And she is pulling people aside to do these things with her that she does and that she's known for, like out of the blue pulls me over doing one of these things, like literally getting like this checklist of content and showing her whole life behind the scenes. Now, in the meantime, I am doing the whole networking, talking to people, trying to make everybody like me. People aren't totally responding. These are strangers, some are celebrities. And I'm just like needing to do this song and dance of making sure I'm liked back there. And while this is something that is a superpower of networking, it's also this realization that she did the same thing briefly, didn't need to be liked, and also was getting the different things that she needed. Now, I will tell you, when I was watching her do this from the corner of my eye, while I'm having conversations, trying to get to know everybody, trying to make them like me, I thought to myself, oh my God, that's kind of cringy. I was like, I never even used that word. And that was something that came in my brain. I was like, oh, I totally judged her. I compared what she was doing to what I was doing, which was trying to make people like me, trying to stay low key, trying to be the cool girl, trying to not rock the boat, just trying to be cool and fit in. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks, you guys. She wasn't trying to be liked. She didn't give a fuck. She was not over networking. She wasn't over people pleasing. She was doing exactly what she came to do. And she was doing exactly what she needed to do for her brand, for her business, and for her future. And I realized I was judging her because it was the very thing that I needed to be doing, but I was too afraid of what people would think of me. I was too afraid that they'd call me self-absorbed or cringe. And guess what? Later, I saw her on the panel, and she didn't just wait her turn to speak when asked. When the interviewer would ask a question, if nobody answered right away, even if she just went, she started speaking again. She did not care or say, oh, you know what? Because I just spoke, I should probably let someone else go, even though nobody is answering right away and nobody seems to know the answer. Like, she took up space. She interjected when she had something powerful to say. She landed every point like she was born for it. She was prepared to take up space. She came there with an agenda and she lived into it. And again, you guys, while she was doing this, I was in the audience and I literally said to myself, because I felt it. I like felt this moment where I even saw her, like she had mentioned something and turned a question into something that I knew was a value add for her, where she was even able to like gather the audience and bring them into her opt-in and do something with her affiliates, you guys. Like it was mind blowing. It was masterful to watch how she was so well thought out about how she was going to use this time and not go home without it working for her and her business. Now, I am not saying she went there and she took from people. She went there and she added more value than anyone else on that panel. You guys, it was masterful and it was powerful. And she landed every single point. I remember sitting in the audience saying this to myself, the audacity. Like I literally said it in that tone, like, wow, the audacity, like to do that. That's like so much. Wow. I bet that these girls are thinking that they don't like her. I wonder how everyone in the audience is feeling. I wonder if they are thinking that she's self-absorbed and they're irritated with her. Now, when that panel was over, she had one of the biggest lines around her. And that is not because she was being rude. That is because she added a ton of value and she was bold. And people want what she had. They don't know that they want the boldness. They don't know that they want the audacity, but they want fucking permission. And that's what she was giving to them by showing up how she was showing up. You guys, she had the audacity to speak up. She had the audacity to be seen. She had the audacity to take up space and not apologize for it. So I speak on Sunday. Everything's great. I go home. Monday passes. On Tuesday morning, I open up Instagram and I see a post from Emma Grede. She is the woman behind a lot of the Kardashians' businesses. She's a big part of Skims. I believe she's the CEO. And she had a quote where she was interviewed by the Times. And the quote on the front said, "I said what I said." And then I had to scroll to the second quote in order to see what she said. And it said, "I'm successful because I have the audacity of a man." It made me realize that so many of us are living by rules that we never agreed to as women. We're afraid that if we don't play the part, if we don't follow the script, if we don't stay likable, we'll be kicked out of the room, kicked out of the friendship, kicked out of our family, kicked out of work, whatever that looks like. There are unspoken agreements that we've made up in our heads or that have been spoken in our families about how a good woman behaves and what's allowed and what's too much. And they're keeping us all chained to our smallest selves. And none of it is real. And you guys, it is time to break that fucking contract. And I have not stopped thinking about this ever since. Not just the word audacity, but the energy of it and how you say it. The way that it shakes the room, the way that it triggers people, the way that it pulls you toward your highest self while calling BS on the smallest version that you are living right now. So I want to talk to you about what audacity really means. So the meaning of it. Audacity has two definitions. You guys, look this up. Two definitions. The first definition, the top, the number one, is a willingness to take bold risks. Fuck yes, right? Like this is what we want. Number two, rude or disrespectful behavior. And I want you to think about the word audacity when you say it. Like when you actually say the audacity, it somehow embodies both, right? It's like to take bold risks, and are they being rude or disrespectful? Or are these like some secret rules that were put on us that were unspoken that we know it doesn't feel right to us? And so this is the line that we have been taught not to cross, because it might be rude, or it might be the definition is rude, but to who? By whose definition? To the people who benefit from you staying small, or from people who absolutely don't want you to play big because it makes them feel bad and it makes them feel like they're playing small? And if you proved that you could play bigger, what would that mean for them? Would they have to change everything? Would they have to get uncomfortable? Would they have to leave a relationship? Would they have to leave a job? Would they not believe, or would they stop believing the lie that they can't do what they say they can't do? So to the version of you who's terrified to be seen, you literally weren't born to be palatable. You were born to be powerful. And I want you to think about this. What if cringe is actually the whole goal? What if your whole goal every single day is to actually wake up and see how freaking cringe you can be? And I want you to think about this and ask yourself each of these questions. The idea around audacity is the who do you think you are from the outside world? This is the fear. Who do you think you are, right? Who do you think you are to have the audacity to think you could win, to break a family pattern, to step outside of the religion you were raised in, to have hope about something, to believe that you could be different, to break a tradition, to think your idea could work, to think your product is amazing, to talk about yourself, to promote yourself, to post the photo of you in a bikini, to share your story, to not share your story, to think you could be friends with her or that group, to think you could do it better, to think there's another way, to change who you are, to change your hair, to lose the weight, to get the Botox, to get the surgery, to be on the cover of a magazine, to write a book, to host a big podcast, to work with that person, to apply for a job you're not qualified for, to ask that person to collaborate, to reach out cold to someone. You guys, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? I'll tell you who you are. You are the woman with audacity. And the world has been trained to call that cringe and to call it too much or to call it rude. And this is why I am literally creating something that I have not ever felt more passionate about outside of my business right now. And let me just tell you, it goes hand in hand. And I'm creating a free, this is totally free, a free 30-day audacity challenge, because it is time for every single woman to step up and do the thing that she knows she needs to do, that she is secretly thinking in her head she's going to be judged for, that she is going to be pushed out of her friend group, her family group, whatever it is, you guys, the thing that you know is the actual secret. Cringe marks the spot. And that is what you need to do. And so this 30-day audacity challenge is literally going to change your life. You guys, I'm not only getting a tattoo. Yes, I am. That says the audacity. You can call me cringe. That's the whole point, is because I have been so moved by this word. The reason that this has resonated so much for me is that I had the realization that if I'm not doing something every day that makes me grab my chest and gasp and say to myself, the audacity to send that email, the audacity to think that your product is amazing and say that it's the best product and that this woman should be drinking it, and to think that you could get your product in Sephora or Ulta or write that book or be a New York Times bestseller, the audacity that I'm not playing big enough. And I know that you aren't either. Because I want to see you. I want to see you out in the world, and you're not going to get there without grabbing your chest, gasping, and saying, oh, the audacity to think that I could do that. That is the energy that we want to be in. If you follow my social media, you guys know that I have been talking about the importance of growing a list and owning your audience and converting all your people from social, because there is so much unpredictability in the world that we really need to be able to control what we can control. And that's why Constant Contact's award-winning marketing platform is here to make marketing way easier and way more effective for small businesses like yours and like mine. And the best part, you don't need to know anything about marketing. So your struggle with expensive, slow, and unmeasurable marketing is over, because with their all-in-one platform, you can create and manage attention-grabbing campaigns in just a few clicks. Email, text, social media, events, landing pages, you name it, it's all in one place. No more juggling dozens of different tools, because Constant Contact's AI content generator helps you turn a rough idea into a ready-to-go message faster than ever. And with hundreds of customizable templates, it's easy to make something that looks and reads like your brand. So pricing is transparent and based on your contact list. So if you're only paying for what you need, there's no surprises. And with a 97% email deliverability rate, your messages land far from spam, which is huge so that you have control over that audience, you guys. That's why over 500,000 small businesses trust Constant Contact to stay connected, top of mind, and ahead of the competition. Constant Contact is helping the small businesses stand tall. You guys, Constant Contact is something that so many of the people that I work with in our masterminds use and are obsessed with. So I'm so glad that we found Constant Contact. So get a free 30-day trial when you go to constantcontact.com. Try Constant Contact free for 30 days at constantcontact.com. That's constantcontact.com. I get asked all the time what it was like to pivot from digital products, books, events into a physical product, a consumer package product. And I will say it was one of the biggest learning curves of my entire life, not to mention hiring a team who has a background in this and just everything that I have to learn about getting a physical product out into the world and how to acquire customers with it. But let me tell you one thing that was super easy, and that was my e-commerce platform and choosing it, because I had heard so many amazing things about Shopify. It just made my choice so much easier, because Shopify is the e-commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world. And 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands that are just getting started, including Glossy. So get started with your own design studio with hundreds of ready-to-use templates. Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store to match your brand style, which if you go look at mine, you'll see it's totally on brand with Glossy. Accelerate your content creation. Shopify is packed with helpful AI tools that write product descriptions, page headlines, and even enhance your product photography. You can get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you. You can easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. So if you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/happy. Go to shopify.com/happy, shopify.com/happy. And this challenge is for every woman who's been overthinking instead of taking action and obsessing over how you're perceived instead of how you want to feel and why you came here and what your entire purpose is. And maybe you've been waiting to be chosen instead of choosing yourself, and that ends now. So you guys, this is your invitation on something that you're going to be hearing me talk about in so many different ways. I can't even tell you. This has shaken me to my core, because if I want my company Glossy to sell for over $100 million, yes, the audacity to fucking say that that is exactly what I want and think that I could actually do that, then I am going to have to embody this and embrace it. And I want you to come with me, because I need it. I need to be held to this message more than any other message I have ever been held to in my life. Because if I embody this, my company will get to everywhere that I want it to go. So this is your invitation for you to meet that version of yourself too. That super bold version that I know that you can see in your head that maybe hasn't come out yet, or maybe she's there, or maybe she's starting to come out and you feel like you just want to ramp that up. And this is what it looks like. I'm going to do 4 live calls over the next 30 days. So 4 live calls over the next 30 days. And on those calls, we're just going to talk about one bold, uncomfortable, totally aligned with your biggest vision action that you can do every single week. And it's going to be on the calls. It's real-time sharing. We're going to do accountability. I'm going to do a chat for a while. I'm going to talk to you exactly like I'm talking to you now. We're going to pump into this idea of what this is and what audacious really means and how we can incorporate it into our life. And then I'm going to break you into groups to meet the people in the groups. We're going to talk about ways that we are going to move forward every single week with one big, bold thing. We're going to hold each other accountable, and we're going to meet back up and talk about what we did and make another plan. Listen to me. I know you're nervous and you're like, oh my God, this feels so big. It doesn't have to be the craziest thing you've ever done. This can be something that feels audacious to you now. This might be a conversation about boundaries with your family that you need to make. Or this might be you deciding to do a fundraise for your business and figuring that out and getting the action plan in place. This could be small. This could be huge. It's all in reference point to exactly where you are right now. So this group is going to be all over the board, you guys, which will also be amazing. It's going to be massive accountability. And we're just going to do the 4 calls for 45 minutes for 30 days. And I think it's going to be one of the most life-changing yet simple things that you have ever done. And this isn't just about action. This is about redefining what you believe is acceptable behavior for yourself. Because the people who you admire, the people who you look up to, they're not better than you. They're just bolder than you. So if you're listening to this and you feel that lump in your throat, maybe that pit in your stomach, maybe your solar plexus just flared up, that's actually your moment. I hope that this made you a little uncomfortable, along with very excited, because that's your sign that you need to be doing this and you need to stop making the plan and you need to actually say yes to yourself. I swear to you, just by going and opting into this, just by joining me, it's totally free, you guys. There's literally nothing you have to lose. You can be with me live, literally live on a call with all of these amazing women. It's going to be absolutely insane. If you've been complaining about not having friends or community and you're not doing something about it and you're not joining this, then you are just literally sabotaging yourself. So go to loriharder.com/audacity and join this a super ridiculously amazing free challenge, and I'll be waiting for you. I'm literally waiting to see you not play small anymore and start stepping in and taking up every inch of space that you deserve, because maybe cringe is actually the secret. Maybe there's going to be a big ass group of us cringy ladies all together getting exactly what we want out of life because we're supporting each other and we're actually setting a goal and following it every single week, because you have to have pressure in your life. Pressure is a privilege. This is accountability. If you don't create that pressure by joining this or doing something similar to this, then you will never get there, because pressure is required to make diamonds and create the life that you want. There is nothing without pressure. You will not do it. And so if people in your life are not holding you to the highest version of yourself, join this, because they will. So you guys, I can't wait to see you. Share this with a friend who you want to join this challenge. In fact, send it to 5, send it to 10, because the more, the merrier. This is going to be insane. This is going to be so much fun. It's going to be all of us reporting back, sharing things on the call. Like, it's going to make us be the best version of ourselves. And the whole point is to have yourself say and let them say, oh, the audacity to send that email, the audacity to connect, the audacity to think she could join that challenge and actually change her life in 30 days. The audacity, you guys, let's step into it. I love you guys so much. I can't wait to see who's all in the challenge and see your beautiful faces on Zoom. And we will send you all of the info once you sign up there. So until next time, everyone, earn your happy. Bye-bye.